Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, if you're ready for week 1 of the NFL season, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's skip preseason. Hit that like button if you're ready for the season to get going. The real season, preseason week 1, it's all fun and games, but I'm ready for the games to count. So like this video if you're ready for football season. Welcome into the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. You can follow me on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. Today, we're going to take it 5 potential surprise roster cuts as the Chiefs will have to condense their roster from 90 to 53 here in a few weeks. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Darwin Thompson, the running back who has long been in the doghouse for me, and I think a little bit for Andy Reid as well, entering his 3rd season with the Chiefs. Had a dumb personal foul penalty against the Dolphins against the 49ers in the preseason opener. Sorry to get the teams mixed up there. Cap hit of $860K. If he gets cut, you save almost all of that. So, listen, I mean, you look at what he's done: 26 games, 3.5 yards per carry. 225 yards, not that impressive for Darwin Thompson throughout the early part of his career. The clock is certainly ticking for this guy. I don't think there's any doubt that Darwin Thompson needs to perform quickly because the Chiefs have gotten better at the running back position. Obviously, you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's going to be your workhorse. Darrell Williams is still in the mix, and he's going to make this team. Jerick McKinnon's had a great camp, looked good in the preseason opener. That's 3 guys that I'm comfortable taking over Thompson. So if he makes the team and Andy Reid agrees with me on the pecking order, that means he's RB4. So there's a chance he gets cut if they go lighter at the running back position, which you know they're going to carry a fullback in Michael Burton. So name a player the Chiefs should cut. We'll take a look at 4 more guys coming up in just a second. Let me know. Name a player you believe the Chiefs should cut before week 1. Go to the offensive line here. Austin Blythe, who was signed to be the starting center, but things changed quickly after he signed that 1-year contract because the Chiefs drafted Creed Humphrey. He's been getting the first-team reps. He's going to start at center, barring a late injury here. Also, we've seen Nick Allegretti get some second-team reps at center. He did play center in college at Illinois, and if they're comfortable with him as the backup, they might just cut Blythe, even though it won't save the Chiefs any money in cap. He's making less than $1 million, so it's not a big deal, though, if they can't afford to keep him on the 53. O-line depth is strong, man. You know, this wouldn't save the Chiefs money, but you're going to have to pick and choose as you get deeper into this offensive line once you make your roster cuts before week 1. I mean, you think about it, right? These starting 5 are locks to make the team. Lucas Niang's probably going to start over Mike Rimmers at right tackle, but Rimmers will make the team as well. I think that Laurent Duvernay-Tardif will also make this team if he's healthy. I think Kyle Long, if he can get healthy, will make this team as well. Nick Allegretti, you got Andrew Wiley. One of these dudes is going to get cut, and I think there's a chance it's Austin Blythe because you brought him in to start. Well, he's not going to start. So does it make sense to keep him? Maybe you can trade him for a late-round pick. We'll have to wait and see, but do not be surprised if Austin Blythe gets cut by the Kansas City Chiefs. Before we continue, today's show is sponsored by our good friends over at BetUS. Make money throughout football season by going to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Get that promo code Chiefs125 for a 125% deposit bonus. Do what I did last year. Put down $100. You'll get $125 in free cash. That will float you throughout football season, and there is a lot of money to be made. The Chiefs are Super Bowl favorites, so if you want to go bet on them, go put down $10. $10 to 140. That's pretty decent odds there. Bucks, Packers, Bills, and Ravens round out your top 5. Several teams at plus 1,200, but hey, we all know Chiefs Kingdom is the favorite at plus 400. Go to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Use our promo code Chiefs125. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus once you sign up. Remember, got to use our link, chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. We go to the defensive side of the ball now. Anthony Hitchens, we talked about him earlier in the offseason as a potential cut candidate, mostly due to his contract in this case. He's certainly worthy of being on this roster and being a contributor on this defense, but final year of his deal, he's getting older. He's not great at this point. He's a good player, not a great player, certainly a vocal leader, which has value, but almost $11 million. You can save over 6 if you cut him. I don't know. You could use that rollover cash for next free agency. Seems pretty tempting to me. But Hitch is valuable. I'm not saying this is one of those players you just you just cut and move on and you don't even think about it. But he's not the guy they signed 4 or 5 years ago whenever they signed him in free agency. He's definitely lost a step a little bit here. And if Nick Bolton and Willie Gay Jr. are ready to have full-time roles, you've got Ben Neiman, who's been solid. You can roll with those three as your three primary linebackers. Maybe a guy like Omari Cobb makes this team, who had a nice little performance against the 49ers the other night. I think those are some options as well. This linebacker group is improved, and it's deeper than it's been in quite a while, even without Damian Wilson, who's already not on this team anymore. So I would consider it. I would obviously weigh the pros and cons, which there are many, but if you feel good about Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, this is tempting, because if you can have $6-7 million in rollover cash for free agency next year, this is a team with a lot of big contracts moving forward. Plus, you want to extend Tyrann Mathieu. That's going to cost a lot of money as well. Got a couple more guys to get to, but subscribe to the Chiefs Report for the best Chiefs videos on the internet. The link is below, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I will continue to provide the latest Chiefs news, rumors, weekly mailbags. Plus, we're going to do another watch party this Friday night when the Chiefs take on the Arizona Cardinals. So subscribe, join us for that, and don't miss any of our videos here on the Chiefs Report. Let's go to Khalen Saunders next, who I think has had a bit of a better camp this year, but kind of like Darwin Thompson, the clock's ticking here. Third season with the team, and this is a competitive defensive tackle unit this year. You can save $650K if you cut him, but I think, again, it's more of, okay, you got to trim this thing down to 53. Some tough decisions are going to have to be made by Andy Reid and Brett Veach, and I think Khalen Saunders is firmly on the bubble of this roster right now, and that's nothing to be ashamed about. This is a good position group for the Chiefs. It's a damn good roster, as we all know, from top to bottom, but if you classify Chris Jones at defensive tackle, Khalen Saunders is probably your fifth best DT. Are you going to carry 5? Maybe. You might, since Chris Jones might play more defensive end, but you signed Jarran Reed. Tershawn Wharton is clearly better than Saunders. He's fantastic. Derek Notty's a good player as well. And then you've got Khalen Saunders, who has 1 sack in 15 career games. You know, he's just been okay when he's gotten to play. So we'll see what happens here. I think him and Darwin Thompson are in a very familiar spot where they've really got to show out over the next couple of weeks if they want to make this final roster. So will the Chiefs cut Khalen Saunders? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let's hear it down below. He is right on the edge, man. I want to watch one more preseason game before I give a final answer, but you guys can weigh in down in the comments. And then our final one here, BoPete Keyes, who was, of course, the 7th-round pick last year. Chiefs moved back into the draft to select him in 2020. Nothing he's done wrong, but there's probably 5 cornerbacks ahead of him on the depth chart. So similar to offensive line, it's like, okay, are you going to carry 6 corners? I guess you can. I mean, you're going to have to make decisions somewhere. He obviously doesn't cost a lot of money, so keeping him, cutting him, not a big deal either way. But L'Jarius Sneed, Charvarius Ward, those appear to be your starting outside guys. Mike Hughes has had a great camp. I think he's going to start at nickel. Rashad Fenton continues to play well when given opportunities. I think he's CB4. You've got DeAndre Baker, who has had a good camp in preseason so far. Lamons has been solid. I mean, where does Keyes fit? Are the Chiefs going to keep 6 corners? I mean, he's probably CB6 right now, and that's more due to the depth that this front office has created by getting guys like Hughes and Baker in the last calendar year. So I think he's on the bubble. I think it's going to be tough for a lot of these guys, but hey, competition brings the best out of all of us, or at least most of us, and we'll see if some of these guys can step up to the plate and get some base hits over the next couple of weeks. So there you have it. Those are my 5 surprise Chiefs cut candidates: Darwin Thompson, Austin Blythe on the offensive side of the ball, Anthony Hitchens, Khalen Saunders, BoPete Keyes on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Make sure you guys subscribe, and we'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.